Sometimes the most powerful messages come in the smallest packages. In just 4 verses, the prophet Isaiah delivers this absolutely blistering critique of a nation's leaders. It's a warning about power, corruption, and justice that honestly feels like it could have been written yesterday. So let's dive in and break it down. This is the question that really sits at the very heart of Isaiah's prophecy. It's a deep dive into the kind of social collapse that happens, almost inevitably, when the people in charge completely forget who they're supposed to be serving. So Isaiah kicks things off by painting this really grim picture of a society that's just in total disarray. And make no mistake, this isn't just about bad politics. It's a fundamental moral and social breakdown that starts right at the very top. Now, that language is designed to be jarring, right? Isaiah isn't just saying, hey, our leaders are making a few mistakes. No, he's accusing them of causing the people to err, to completely lose their moral and spiritual compass, and of actively destroying the very path they should be on. Okay, so what does he really mean by children and women ruling? Well, this isn't meant to be taken literally. Children here is a metaphor for rulers who are totally immature, impulsive, and lack any real wisdom. And the phrase women rule over them likely points to the corrupting political influence from inside the royal court. Think of a powerful queen mother pulling the strings. And the result, as you can see, is a leadership that is actively, deliberately leading its people straight to ruin. And if you think this is just poetic exaggeration, look at this. This timeline shows you the hard, historical facts behind the prophecy. Judah had this recurring problem of very, very young kings taking the throne, some as young as 8 years old. This wasn't some abstract idea. It was a real, ongoing political crisis that created all sorts of instability and left the whole nation vulnerable. After describing all the chaos happening on earth, Isaiah does something amazing. He completely shifts the scene. The prophecy suddenly moves from the streets of Jerusalem into this divine courtroom where God himself is about to step in. And just notice the language here. He standeth up. That's not a casual posture. This is the beginning of a formal legal proceeding. It's a signal that something of immense gravity and authority is about to happen. And right here, the role gets even bigger. He stands up not just to plead a case, but also to judge. In this courtroom, he's playing every single role. This is such a fascinating idea. In this divine trial, God acts as the advocate for the righteous. He's their defender. But for the wicked leaders, he is both the prosecutor, the one bringing the charges, and the ultimate judge, the one who delivers the sentence. It's this powerful declaration that divine justice is absolute. There's literally nowhere to hide. All right, so the court is in session, and now the formal charges are about to be read. And this isn't some vague complaint. It's a very specific indictment, and it's aimed squarely at the most powerful people in the entire nation. So the defendants are named the ancients and the princes. We're talking about the elders, the political leaders. And what's the primary charge? Ye have eaten up the vineyard. This metaphor, the vineyard, is absolutely central to the whole prophecy. The vineyard is a symbol for the nation of Judah. The leaders, well, they were supposed to be its caretakers, its guardians. But instead, Isaiah accuses them of having eaten it, of just devouring the people and the resources for their own selfish greed. And the proof of their crime? It's right there, on display for everyone to see. It's not hidden at all. The very wealth that's filling their houses, the spoil of the poor, that's the evidence. Their luxury was literally built by robbing the most vulnerable people in their society. And the indictment gets even more specific, even more brutal. Beating my people points to systemic abuse. Grinding the faces of the poor, what a visceral image. It means extreme, dehumanizing exploitation, working people to the bone for almost nothing. They were using their power, manipulating the law, to steal from those who had absolutely no one to defend them. And then it all builds to this thundering rhetorical question from God himself. This isn't a real question. It's an expression of pure divine outrage. The unspoken part of it is, by what right? By what right do you do this to them? And that's the bottom line. The prophecy makes it devastatingly clear that when all is said and done, leadership is going to be judged by one primary standard. How did it treat the weakest, the most defenseless people in society? There's just no defense for exploitation. Grind the faces of the poor. That imagery is brutal. It's unforgettable, and it's supposed to be. It is the voice of divine justice crying out on behalf of those who have no voice of their own. Now, obviously, this was a warning for a specific group of people at a specific time in history, but the principles, they're absolutely timeless. So it makes you wonder, what does it mean for us to protect the vineyard today? And how do we hold leadership at every level accountable for the well-being of the poor and the vulnerable? It's definitely a question worth thinking about.